Ron Van Dam, living proof that there is life after 40 for retired male strippers. Shake that thing, big dog. You still got it. You're listening to The Ron Van Dam Show on New England Broadcasting.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
All right, don't make a big deal out of it.
Hold on tight. Things can get a bit weird if you like that sort of thing.
Hey, welcome to the program. It is the Ron Van Dam Show. Don't argue with me. I'm not in the mood. How you doing? Good to be with you. Oh my God. What did you do to your hair? What is that on top of your head? Oh my God. Ugh. The least you could do if you're going to listen to this program is to look presentable. I mean, seriously. Come on. Thanks for stopping by. We have a little gift basket for you. It's full of hair products, and you need it. Seriously. I don't understand something. In order to use hair products, do you need to have hair? Raise your hand if you think you do. Look at all the hands go up, huh? Look at that. Look at that. All right, that's enough of the theme music. By the way, the theme music to this program and many of the incidental music ditties that you hear during the program are from Jason Shaw, who provides the music. Thank you, Jason. You are a man. And the comedy introductions, much of the comedy bits, the announcer, John Shanahan, ladies and gentlemen, you are a man as well. And then there is Nicole Reed, who is the British voice that you hear at the beginning of the program. She may not actually be British, to be honest with you. And she also books many of the national interviews that we have on this program. Nicole Reed, you are a man. Thank you for being here to all of you who have gathered here today. I guess you're wondering why I called you here. I have something to discuss with you. You annoy me. Yeah, everybody annoys me to some extent. The only reason I would like somebody is because they don't annoy me all the time. The bar has been set very, very low. Actually, the bar is right around the corner, and you know what happens there. Anyway, welcome to the show. Welcome to the program. If you haven't listened to the show before, I think by now you're realizing why. Ladies and gentlemen, self-deprecating humor. Thank you so much for being here. In this program, we point out the things that make no sense. This is, we're like 2,200 shows into this thing. So you might say, hey, Ron, that's impressive. Or you might say, Ron, that's not impressive. That's weird. Whatever. We've got to start respecting each other's oddities. We really do. They have that term, you're not acting normal. Nobody's acting normal anymore. There is no, you know what normal is? Normal is not being normal. It's the new normal. I hate that word. I'm saying it way too much within the past minute. Yeah, nothing's normal. Nothing's normal. I found out that everybody has problems, and that is normal. I'm serious. I have a great disdain toward Facebook and social media. I believe it has become the pitfall of society as we know it, Have a nice day. You take care. Bye now. It's just awful. It's just awful. I got another one of those annoying Facebook notifications yesterday. I've been notified by Facebook that someone that I'm Facebook friends with has changed his profile picture. Oh, my God. Are you all right? Yeah, I have to get notified that this person changed his profile picture. Come on, man. That's annoying. That's annoying. I don't care that you've changed your profile picture. I know you do. You went to the extent of changing your profile picture. Why I have to know about it, I have no idea whatsoever. If I went to your freaking page for any reason, I would have noticed that he changed his profile picture. Now I can go on with my life. Come on, man. That's what's wrong. That's where it starts. Social media has simply become a place for blooming idiots to gather and organize their idiot campaigns. Look, millennials, you don't know what I'm talking about, do you? Because there was a time when there was no such thing as social media. And guess what? Things were wonderful. I'm not talking about things were better. I'm talking about things were wonderful. When I wasn't forced to hook up with other people, it was like a freaking heaven. But now you've ruined it with your little connections. Yeah, everybody's connected now, so that means we can be aware of everybody's instabilities, damaging comments, and picayune bullshit. So, great. Thanks for that invention, Steve Gutenberg, whatever your name is, whatever. Anyway, welcome to the program. I don't know what day of the week it is. Doesn't really matter at all anymore. One day is just like the other day. Remember that phrase, perfect storm, where horrible things all happen in a very tightly knit pattern to cause great headache and stress upon us? Yeah, remember that? It seems that the perfect storm is always the perfect storm always. What do I mean by that? We're always in a perfect storm. Usually when you're in a storm, you're in a boat, you're on the water, the waves are getting choppy, and eventually the sun comes out, the waves calm down, and you're okay. You got a little damage on the boat, but otherwise the storm is over. This storm doesn't seem to be ending. This perfect storm, not so perfect, just seems to keep going on. It all started with that guy that descended from the escalator in his tower. I'm not going to say his name. You know who he is. That's when things started going awry. I think it went all the way back to September 11th. That was like a kick in the crokies, big time. Ever since then, all these storms have been lining up perfectly. Then Bush became president. Comparatively not horrible, but invaded Iraq because I guess he was having his period. I don't know what the hell. We had to blame somebody, just like a domestic quarrel. I'm very upset today, and because you're my spouse, I'm going to take it out on you. That's pretty much what happened there. So we invaded a country, and then we started hitting all the countries in the area, Afghanistan. We just started invading everything we could find. That didn't help. And then this guy who descended from the escalator in that tower, ran for president, actually got in somehow. That screwed things up considerably, not necessarily because of his views and opinions, but because he was like a total moron. And then the coronavirus hit, and everything was topsy-turvy and turvy-topsy. And now we're still in it, that the damn thing doesn't seem to go away. Putin starts invading everything that doesn't move. We get upset about it, which is actually what we kind of did. We didn't do it for territory reasons. We just did it because we had to invade somebody. I mean, I like Liz Cheney. She's like a really good American. But her father kind of just started wars so his business would be more profitable. I mean, you know, a lot of perfect storms going on here. So what am I looking for? What do you want, Ron? And this is the theme of my discussion today. I don't care if you're a Protestant, Catholic, donut maker, candlestick baker, whatever religion you are or are not. We're waiting for this magical, mythical person to descend from the mountains, not in the tower on the escalator, but on a goat out of the mountain, some kind of soothsayer, savior, person of love, understanding, riding a unicorn to save humanity, the planet, and everything else. Something that all of a sudden binds us all together like molasses. As we grow apart, we need something to bring us together in unison. Usually, that's something horrible. We don't want that. I'm looking for something to descend from the mountain, and it ain't happening. I think in your religion, I don't know you, you call it the second coming. Okay, fine. Watched a porno film last week, kind of the same title, but it's different. You can call it whatever you want based on whatever religious belief you may have. Let's get it going, though. Let's get this savior. Let's get moving on this, babe. We keep looking up at the top of the mountain, waiting for this savior to come down. Let's get on it. Let's get on it. Come on down. No, the savior will not come down until the savior is accepted by humanity. No, that's an excuse. Let's have the savior, please. If you don't mind, it's time to be saved. Not through death and destruction, through smiles and hugs and good thoughts. Respect, morals, that kind of thing. I don't know. I'm just waiting here, man. I'm sitting in my chair, not doing any exercise because I don't want to miss it. I'm waiting for you to come down from the mountain and save all of us. Or save them, and then that'll backwash onto me. Well, let's get it going here, man. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Perfect storm. Eggs went up 33% in price in the supermarkets and elsewhere because of the avian bird flu. Many of us haven't heard of that, didn't know that was happening. Some states are saying, no, we got to have free-range chickens. Chickens need a bigger apartment, so you got to treat them differently. That's going to drive the price up. So 33% more expensive for eggs. Avian bird flu, being nicer to chickens. Perfect storm. Perfect storm. Remember when eggs used to be 99 cents a carton for like a long time? Now you have to second mortgage your home to have an omelet. I know. And that's just one example. when it was financial heaven. I remember this, and millennials, you never experienced this. It was really cool. You could take $100, go to the bank, walk to the bank. You don't text it. You don't digitally deposit any. You walk to the bank physically. You take $100. I don't know where you get that from, but you take $100, you open up a savings account, you leave it alone for a year, and in a year's time, you have $110. But that's fantastic! Yeah, it's called a savings account. They don't have them anymore. They call them that, but you ain't making shit on that thing. Yeah, what's the percentage? Is it 10%? No, it's like, it's a half of a percent. It's just a half of a percent? Not even. We got more decimal points and zeros going in the wrong direction than you can possibly imagine. So why am I putting my money in your bank? You know what? I don't know. Because it's in the mattresses, I don't know what it is. Got to put your money somewhere, put it in the bank. You're not making money on your money anymore. And that was a fun thing to do. I remember my parents opening up a savings account for me. That's where the $100 came from. Now I remember. And they said, if you don't touch it, it'll grow. No. I'm sorry. I'm confusing that with the birds and the bees sex talk. Yeah. No, I think for both, if you don't touch it, it'll grow. That's not true. You have to touch it for it to grow. What are we doing here? What are we talking about? In any event, those are wonderful times for kids. It taught them the value of money and how if you're frugal and you do things right, your money can actually increase while you sit on your ass. That was a wonderful time. Can't do that anymore. You have to invest it. You know what investing means? That means you give your money to somebody else to play with it, and they supposedly invest it in things and make you more money. That can backfire, and you can lose it all. Savings accounts were wonderful. They were guaranteed by the government. Remember that? FDIC, MOUSE. I don't understand. I just don't understand what happened here. I know what happened. This guy changed his Facebook profile picture and everything got screwed up. That's the perfect storm right there. Had you not changed your profile picture, things wouldn't be so bad. Have you noticed that one letter can make a difference? Yeah. If you've joined AAA, that's then you've protected your car against breaking down. They'll come over and tow your car. You're a AAA member. If you're an AA member and you don't have the third A, you're an alcoholic. If you're a single A, it means that you did well in school. A's mean a lot. How many A's you have? It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing what you can do with A's. Anyway, an interesting guest coming up momentarily. Thank you so much for being here, by the way. Without you, well, I'd still do this. It doesn't make any difference, actually. But in any event, thanks for being here. We're going to take a short commercial break. Oh, I'm not speaking well anymore. It's time to take a short commercial break.
Gentlemen, you know that when you decide to get engaged, you'll be making one of the most important investments of your life. Think about it. From the moment you get down on bended knee and present the ring, how much you actually love someone will be judged solely on the size of the stone you buy. And not just by the one you love, but by literally everyone she knows. And strangers. At Schlickerscheck the Jewelers, we know that when you're about to cough up what amounts to a few months' rent to obtain the exclusive naming rights to a vagina, you want to be able to be sure that you've made the best choice. So if you've decided it's time to staple gun your man tackle to a single hitching post and to never be able to experience the simple joy of a meaningless hookup without handing over half your stuff, come to Schlickerschechter Jewelers and see our amazing line of certified high-quality shallow female ego strokers. Take it from me, Herbert Schlickerschechter. I'm not just your local jeweler. I've been married 6.5 times. Vegas marriages, boys. Very easy to annul when the shrew goes south on you. And she will.
Hello.
Hi there, Ron.
We're talking to the pioneer of the international mindfulness movement, Jon Kabat Zinn, and we're talking about his new audiobook series, which is fascinating. It's called The Healing Power of Mindfulness. Let's just start with the basics here. What indeed is mindfulness?
So there's a lot of talk nowadays about mindfulness, so it's really a good place to start is to ask, what the hell is it? Mm-hmm. And mindfulness is basically awareness. So it's not something that I invented or something that, is particularly Asian or Western or anything. It's human awareness. It's pure awareness. But what's cultivatable is not awareness itself, but our access to it.
Okay.
So we're usually so busy caught up in thought and thinking and emotional reactivity that we don't have much awareness. We're caught in our stories of who we are and what's going on. And so, in a certain way, lost in thought. And what mindfulness is a disciplined form of cultivating intimacy with the present moment. So my working definition of mindfulness is that it's the awareness that arises from paying attention on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally.
Okay.
And all of that's pretty easy until you get to the non-judgmental part. And so I need to say that non-judgmental doesn't mean that we won't have judgments. It means that we'll become aware of how judgmental we are and suspend our judging, so to speak, and just learn how to rest in awareness itself.
Well, we all have goals that we constantly try to meet. Some of us set the goals too high, some of them not at all. But for some reason, the mindfulness part doesn't carry us even close to those goals, and yet the mind should be taking us there.
Well, it partly depends on how willing you are to befriend your mind and not make it into one more competition. So often what we try to do is we try to beat ourselves into shape. And a lot of people do that in the gym, and they make New Year's resolutions. I'm going to work out, I'm going to lose weight and everything. And 3 weeks later, they're finished with that.
Right.
And the reason I'm on the radio talking with your, to your program and your listeners is that I don't want that to happen. I want people to listen to this program and forever in their lives, in some sense, have it be changed so that they are more in touch with at this moment. They're hearing what you and I are talking about. So that's not just you and me. They're participating in it. And if they're following what's being said, they're realizing, maybe my mind is a certain bit out of control and into all sorts of ruts that don't actually do me any favors. And maybe it's possible to actually learn how to pay attention in a way that drops me into my body, drops me into my breathing, drops me into this moment, whether it's a pleasant moment or a hugely stressful, unpleasant moment, and learn how to be in wiser relationship with what's going to happen, what I'm capable of, and therefore you're changing the future because the next moment's going to be very different if you do that in this one. And that's a discipline. It's like going to the gym. It's like working out with a weight. You do it repetitively until you begin to realize that this is actually shifting you from automatic pilot mode into moment-by-moment fully awake mode. And that has enormous consequences for our emotional relationships with our children, with our partners, with life itself, with nature.
Has our relationship with our mind kind of become more difficult because of all of the technology and the social media and the political unrest? I mean, has it, it seems like a struggle just to have enough time to sit down with yourself and exercise your mind.
And as soon as you do, you pull out your phone. And even now, they're mindfulness apps. I'm even guilty of that. I mean, sort of my guided meditations are, at mindfulnessapps.com. So sometimes you have to use the technology to defeat the technology, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But you're absolutely right, and we're just at the beginning of the effect that the digital revolution is going to have on the human species. Yeah. It's going to change work forever with artificial intelligence, and your phone now knows more about you and your buying habits and where you go and what you want and what you hope for than you do. And believe me, there are people who are paid enormous amounts of money to figure out what the next steps are in this. Yeah. And we need to defend ourselves from it, not by making AI the adversary, but seeing if we can actually get in touch with HI, which is human intelligence, while we still have a chance. And, after all, our species is called Homo sapiens sapiens in Latin, which means the species that is aware and knows that it's aware. So Linnaeus, who named us, really knew that mindfulness was a very, very big part of this, but we haven't quite lived our way into it. So to answer your question, I really feel like this is not some luxury or some like dime store thing that you do when you don't have enough time in your life to, do important things. This is the absolute crux of what it means to be fully human.
Yeah, in the mythological stories, it's always those that are of great minds that seem to flourish. It seems like that's like the foundation of everything.
It's the cultivation of wisdom.
Yeah,
it's the cultivation of wisdom.
There you go.
And the cultivation of compassion and the cultivation of empathy, because that's our best self. When we're our best selves, we're not sort of contracted. And that feels so good.
Yeah.
I mean, it just feels so good. That's the root source of happiness, well-being, and now we know enough about the molecular biology of meditation and the neuroscience of meditation, of deep well-being, deep health.
Well,
that's why the book is called The Healing Power of Mindfulness. I didn't really want to call it The Healing Power of Mindfulness because it sounds so hyped. Healing power of this, healing power of that. But now we have so much evidence that this is in fact healing. And by healing, what I mean is coming to terms with the actuality of things as they are. So it doesn't mean fixing, and it doesn't mean curing. It means dealing with things as they are. And we think, well, how can I do that? Only, somebody like, Mother Teresa or some saint could do that. No, you can do that. You have the full repertoire of being human as anybody else. And the real challenge is you already have it. The question is, can you access it when you need to? And of course, if every moment you have a spare moment, you go for your phone, that is not going to happen. You have to have a spare moment and go to your belly, go to breathing, go to the open spaciousness of awareness itself.
Well, it's said that the mind, we haven't even covered a speck of the abilities and power of the mind, and I know that's where you're coming from. This is it's fascinating. We don't have time to get into this to any great extent, but it's The Healing Power of Mindfulness. It's an audio book, so you got nothing to argue about here. You just listen to it, and I guess you kind of open your mind to use your mind and succeed with your mind. So sounds great. And how do we get a hold of it, and how do we contact you and your website?
Well, my website is www.mindfulnesscds.com because those guided meditations, they're in app form and in other forms downloadable and so forth. It also has a section on all the various books I've written and some of the meditation practices. There's a lot of information on that website. But the most important thing is not to contact me. It's to contact you, yourself, the listener, and befriend yourself in a certain way. And that's the best way to actually make use of what I'm trying to put out, so to speak, is to really connect in a very deep way with yourself and to trust that in your own, the way I say it, it's kind of a shorthand, but it's trust in your own beauty and the fact that you're already okay. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken, even if you may feel that way, and that there's an infinite number of resources that you have by virtue of being human that you can tap into and continue learning, growing, healing, and transforming your relationship with reality moment by moment throughout your life.
He's Jon Kabat Zinn, and it's The Healing Power of Mindfulness. Great conversation. Thank you for spending the time.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure. Pleasure, Ron.
Take care.
Be well.
All right. You too. Bye-bye. Well, that'll do it for me today. You've been wonderful as usual. I'll be back again tomorrow with a brand new show. I hope you join me then. But until that time arrives, I wish you peace.